Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing with my Tamiya Juggernaut project. As you can see in front of me, I've stripped the differentials and in attempt to further investigate what was the stripping sound from my previous video. And really I didn't see anything wrong with the beveled gears nor spider gears. So I don't know what to report. But there is something that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swap the front and front and rear differential, just in case, because they do rotate at an opposite direction. So um, just in case there is any sort of stripping, but if you look closely, I don't see anything really wrong with the gears. So I don't know what caused the the truck to strip. Um, my previous video showed that the gearbox was fine. So yeah, I guess we'll find out what's gonna happen once I put her back together. There is something I want to show you guys. I did end up replacing the one of the idler gears that the pinion um, basically go against. So I'm now using hardened steel, just in case. I didn't want the plastic one of this to strip out because the pinion, after all, is hardened steel. So at least if I'm gonna use hardened steel, and hardened steel, it's not gonna break. And I've adjusted the pinion a little bit to come out so it's a little bit more centered on the gear. You can't really see it 'cause it's kind of dark in there. I don't have good lighting down here. I do have the hardened steel for the axle, the the drive gear. Um, Initially, I thought about not using them, but since I have the axles all dismantled, um, I'm probably gonna go ahead and put them in. No, actually, they're right here. So these are the ones that has the D-shaped holes in them. I think I mentioned previously. So according to the Tamiya Club forum, they're uh, prone to rounding out. So with these, this is gonna eliminate that issue. What I'm gonna do today is attempt to seal the differential completely, so I could put in this 60K silicone differential fluid. How I'm gonna do that is so I initially I thought about putting a groove um, close to this E-clip, but since I opened it up, I just remembered that there's already a groove here, and I purchased this O-ring. You're not gonna see it because it's put my other hand, I guess. This O-ring dimension is 4 millimeters internal diameter and 6 millimeters outside diameter. So it's perfectly fit in there, but this groove is 5 millimeters in diameter, so that um, the O-ring's gonna stick out further. So it's kind of really not gonna work unless I deepen the groove, which I don't plan on doing. But I did discover, and I've already tried to dry fit them. What I could do is um, slide it, slide the O-ring in place. There's enough, basically this groove right here, this channel right here, sticks out just slightly, and I can slide the O-ring in there, and it's gonna stay in the groove. It's a little bit tricky, but it works. So I'm gonna show you guys. So this is obviously without the O-ring right now, and I'm gonna hold the diff, and it's gonna fall, right? So what I'm gonna do now is put the O-ring in there. I'm gonna lube it up a little bit. I don't want it to be dry. It's kind of like I said, it's tricky to put the O-ring in there. But before I do that, I actually want to use this shaft for this side of the differential, because I'll show you guys later. Make sure it's clean. That pin actually helps for this side to slide the O-ring on. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is the O-ring's in there. I do want to lube it up a little bit. So the bevel gear, I'm gonna put a little lube on there to so I could have lube on the O-ring. So the O-ring is in there. You guys can see that. So now I'm gonna use the beveled gear to push it in place. All right. So as you can see, the O-ring is staying in place, and the axle, the shaft is also staying in place. I want to lube this up a little bit. I don't want it, since this is the spacer for the beveled gears. Um, Although I think this is a little bit slippery than this, obviously. So this is also silicone. Um, a little bit of it is not gonna hurt. I mean, normally you don't want to mix, but I just want to make sure there's lube on here, so to prevent the wear. If you can see that, there's like a little bit of wear in there from the O-ring sitting there. The O-ring sitting there. The shim sitting in there. So I just want a little bit of lube there, and then a little bit of lube on the back of the beveled gear. All right. I can center that shim. All right. So now the bevel gear is sitting in there. So I want to kind of compare this to the other one because I want to see how far the shaft is sitting in there without the this is without the O-ring. So I just want to make a comparison. Now they're about the same. To be honest, this one is going in a little further, but that's because the O-ring's not in there, not in here. This one doesn't have an O-ring. So let's see if this. So yeah, when I push on that bevel gear, I do see that it's it moves in a little bit. Trying to get the dirt out of there. But trying to compare the two, I mean, there's uh, probably on a point, probably less than 0.5 millimeters. But in precision world, that's a big difference, right? So, but what that O-ring is now doing is pushing that beveled gear um, closer to the spider gears, which could be bad because now the gears are going to be binding. So we're gonna dry fit them first and see how it goes. So I'm gonna compare how it feels without the O-ring on the other side. Without having the O-ring on the um, other half of the differential. I mean, right now it feels smooth. I don't feel any binding, but just because that one side, like I said, doesn't have an O-ring on it, so um, that probably be a different story once once I install the O-ring on the other side. Actually, I don't want to use that. It's for the other shaft. This is the cleaner one, so we're gonna use this one. Just gonna blow into this hole. Want to make sure there's nothing in there, and then just try and pick in there with a paper towel. Sure, it's see there's a little bit of stuff in there. All right, so doesn't feel like there's anything in there. Um, the reason is I don't want it to have a hydraulic lock. So, and then that's kind of the other reason why I wanted to use the pinned one on this side because um, actually I don't know which side has more. I think they're about the same. Hmm. Well, my plan is to pour the differential fluid in this half. I'm probably gonna put a little bit in there too. It's all right. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. See, I don't know if you guys can see that, but hang on, let me bring in the light over here. Um, let's see. But basically, the groove is not flush. It's kind of like halfway. So basically, it's kind of like halfway out of the mouth. So I'm gonna try and slip the O-ring. All right, it's in there. Um, do the same thing here. Actually, I'm probably gonna add a little more silicone lube. Do this. And back of this. All right, so the O-ring's right there. Now this beveled gear is just gonna basically push it in place. Picking the dirt out of here. All right, so that one is also locked into place. Like I said, I drive fitted this earlier, and it will come out. See, that O-ring will come out if you pull pull on it. So initially, I was kind of scared that it will be locked into place. So now I'm gonna test to see if test the meshing of the beveled gears. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I do feel some resistance now. So, but nothing, nothing that bad. Um, yes, the only thing is I don't know how long the O-ring's gonna last. But this is on me. I'm just experimenting. Um, see, I'll let you guys know how it goes. Probably like 3 months, 6 months, or a year from now. What do I do right now? Okay. So while I'm doing some other stuff, I want to make sure that the holes for this has a thread locker. And then I'm gonna wipe the excess because I need that thing to be clean. I'm gonna put Permatex uh, around. Oh, we need to put more in this hole because I don't see anything down there. I don't want to fully soak it up. There you go. Just a little bit. All right. So now I can clean the rest of it out. All right. See if I can place this in the background for now. Hold it up. Okay. Before I pour the fluid in there, we're gonna put the Permatex. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna take the spider gears out because I want it in the groove. In this groove. I don't want it on the inside, so we're gonna clean that. Anything that's on the inside. Okay. And clean the outside a little bit too while I'm at it. And I don't want any in the screws. So clean those up. And I want to prevent the thread locker from doing its job. Okay. What do you guys think? Okay. Now I can put the spider gears. I can put a little bit on the shaft. I just hope I put enough in there to make this gasket. All right. All right, now I'm gonna pour the silicone. I haven't opened this up, so I don't know if there's a seal inside or what. Nope. $60,000. Okay. Don't want to put it on the shaft because you'll end up in the hole on the other end. So I'm just gonna do this slowly then. Just take your time. I think this is just about enough for this side. After this, mm, I think I can go a little bit more. Just letting it settle. Just letting it sit. Looking for bubbles. I don't see any. I can definitely fill this side a little bit more. So this is 60,000. I can just imagine what some people put like half a million, even like the 100K. This thing It's so slow. I can't really tell the level because it's so clear. I have to work it slowly. There's no manual on this because it's fully experimental. It's not designed to have this fluid in there. I don't think this type of fluid was available back in the day. I mean, back in the day when the Juggernaut came out. So I'm also I have a experimental design that I 3D printed for my Cloudbuster. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pour this in there, but we'll see. Um, let me move this around a little bit. Hmm, careful. I can tell that I can put more in there. Um, all right, I think what I'm gonna do now is pour some on the other half of the diff. I'm gonna put this here. I don't have a stand, so I'm gonna put a little bit of the Permatex on here else as well. I'm gonna be careful not to get any in the hole. All right. Here goes nothing. Gotta make sure line up. There we go. I just stop when I feel it stop. I don't over torque this part because this metal is pewter, I think, softer than the screw. All right, gonna wipe off all the Permatex on the outside and sorry, and hopefully this thing. Uh, I don't see anything leaking out of the seams and the ends of the differential like I did when I had the Lucas fluid in there. So anyway, so the process is the same for the other differential. All right, that concludes this video. I just want to share you guys what I've done so far for the project. Hopefully this thing works out. If the 60K is not heavy enough, I'm gonna go put 80K on the other diff. But it feels like it will definitely stop the limit the slip. Definitely limits the slip. I just want to show you guys the axles are all dirty, but there were no cracks or anything in the axle housing. Um, the the beveled gears in here are fine. So I don't, like I said, I don't know what the issue was. So we'll find out, I guess, when I put this thing together. This was the other O-ring that I was gonna use initially. This one has a 5.5 internal diameter, 5.5 millimeter internal diameter and 7.5 millimeter outer diameter. And what I was gonna do was bore out the mouth here and then slide the O-ring into place, and then that was gonna create the seal like that. I may or may not still do that. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely do basically drill that hole in there. But that uh, this this thing works. Well, hopefully will work so I wouldn't have to do that. But we'll see. Um, yeah. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you share my videos, and thank you for watching.